Okay, so I'm Matt, joined today by Twiggy, otherwise known as Liam, to go through his Sorcerous Cup run from the Flintshire six rounder that was yesterday. Liam's fairly new to Silph. Played Forest Cup and Sorcerous Cup, and was a solid player when he joined, but has been involved with the Northwest All Stars mentorship scheme, and Jamnat's done a great job training him up to become even better. So it's going to be interesting to see how far someone can come in 2 months in Silph. Liam, how are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. A bit nervous about going through my own battles, but there we go.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be fine. I've not looked at them yet, so I'm going to be interested to see what happens. I'm right in saying you've been involved for 2 months. That's about right, yeah?
Yes. So my first cup was, I believe, an Open Great League. So that led me quite nicely in from GBL, and then straight into Forest, having absolutely nothing built apart from a Ferrothorn and Azu. Same with Sorceress, nothing built for Sorceress at all.
Yeah,
so it's been fun.
Yeah, but I think some of the stuff you'll build in Sorceress will come up again. Why don't you talk me through your team, because I know there's a lot of stuff on there that everything in your team I've used before at least twice in Silph, so I think it'll come useful again. So why don't you tell us about your team?
Yeah, so I always seem to start these days with an Azu, Muck, and Hypno core. I think I had Skunk Tank. I've got quite a highly rated Skunk Tank, just sitting there that I'd caught, so I powered that up straight away. But having come up against Muck and having now used Muck, sensational the way it can build energy and the way it can do. It can fire off those charge moves so quickly. And then I was only putting Lickitung in, and then Obstagoon came out, and then Obstagoon went away. So I'd relearned the meta there, and then relearn it again because Obstagoon's now gone. But then Lickitung just never sort of found its way back in there, because I started to see, I came up against one person that was using Muck and Skunk Tank, and I quite like the double dark poisons because they're quite difficult to cover.
Yeah, they're good against everything, aren't they?
Yeah, they can hit everything, and even the hardish counters in inverted commas like your Toxic Croaks and Claydol, as we find I didn't know existed until I came up against it the other day. You can still hit them hard, and there's still things that you can bring to support it, like your Azus that can, and your Hypnos even for that, for Toxic Croak, that can just come in and shred your counters. So I think that was the route I was going down. I think Toxic Croak just to cover, I just have a counter user. I think if I was going to sacrifice the charm by running Azu, I think I needed a counter user. And then I've been playing about with Frostlass and Noctowl. And I've got Noctowl in some of the daily tournaments, and I've brought Frostlass into this and was really impressed with Frostlass.
Yeah, Frostlass. It's like Morph. It fires off the moves really fast. Hits really hard. It's amazing.
That 6 spot's always been a tricky one. I say always. I've only done 2 metas, but it's always been the bane of my life. Just trying to find something that had reasonable coverage and kept certain things away. The word bench pressure floating about in a lot of things that I still don't really have my head around. But I think Frostlass does keep a few things away, or definitely makes people like running Noctowl, for example, think twice about bringing it in certain situations.
Yeah, and that's interesting because when I look at a team like yours, the first thing I notice as someone who plays Noctowl is that there's no steel type there, and that always makes me quite keen to bring Noctowl, because like the Dark Poisons, it's really good against everything. But Frostlass, because it's so quick, it can switch in slowly into Noctowl and still beat it and outpace it. So, while like a Lowland Sandslash, for example, is going to beat Noctowl, down shields or whatever, while Frostlass isn't going to do that, it's still a solid counter to Noctowl. and it's going to hit everything hard. Like the things that, like Sandslash is just left high and dry against the Azumarill. Frostlass has got Shadow Ball to take 40% off it, 45%. You know.
Yeah. I think that was what was really starting to draw me to it, was just how hard it could hit. And I was tempted by Bronzong, but then I look at my team. It's Skunk Tank. I call it Skunk Tank. It has a very positive matchup against Bronzong, but it's not as clean as you'd want a Dark to have. So I think I bought Hypno in as sort of a softer Bronzong counter.
Yeah.
Because I think I'd rather use Hypno in it and come out with energy than have Bronzong versus Bronzong in a mirror. So trying to use Bronzong as a Bronzong cover didn't really feel that safe to me. So I think, I completely see Bronzong's play in this cup. I think it's fantastic in certain situations, but I felt Hypno was just that little bit safer for this team comp.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. Well, let's get stuck in. Oh, before we start, presumably you're a Snarl Muck, I imagine.
Yes, yeah.
And he moves on Azu?
Play Roth Hydro Pump. Hypno's got Thunder and Shadow Ball. Although I was very tempted by Focus Blast, but I put that to yeah.
I see. Do you know what? I think there's play there for sure.
The lack of times that I hit Shadow Ball on Hypno is beyond belief compared to what I think it can hit in this cup, and the amount of times that I just wish I could just tap that Focus Blast.
Yeah,
it's something it is something that I'm thinking about running later on in the month, because the amount, I think it's a surprise you could throw in a Muck.
Yeah. Certainly got play. I think certainly got play. Well, let's get stuck in round one. Marina Sky Melody. Do you want to talk us through their team and what you're thinking?
Yeah, so I've played. I believe her name's Marina, but I played her once in an Auto-Rect, like little play around tournament, and I think it was Colin Bay, and she managed to beat me with Auto-Rect because it was bringing Seal. I built a double Dugong. Sorry, I bought a double Legacy Dugong by using my Elite and my Fast TM. So this would be fun to use, and it kept bringing the wrong Dugong. So that's that story. But this team, very spicy. What I did see across the board, though, which is mad for this cup, is Hypno has some very nice play against a lot of those things. Yeah. Which was like, so I'm actually building a 3-round Hypno for the first time in this cup, which was mad. Azu, again, has, I think, very positive matchups against all of that line. And nothing really... although Alakazam can do damage to Toxie, there's no hard-hitting confusion user in there. Yeah. So I'm again very comfortable bringing two things that I'm not very comfortable bringing in this meta. Sure.
So, well, let's have a look then. Let's see how it goes.
So yeah, for the first game, I'm leading Kangaskhan, which I don't really know how this matchup goes, but I know Kangaskhan's got Mudshot.
Yeah, and it's not really got any charge moves that can hurt Azu much either.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go straight play rough because I assume it's going to chunk it away, and I don't shield because
that's quite a lot, Earthquake, that does.
Yeah, it surprised me, and at this point I'm thinking, oh no, not going to lose switch and then trap something in.
I think it's smart to go for the Hydro Pump there. You're not going to get two player off here, so got to go to Hypno here, surely.
Yeah. Because I know if they've got Earthquake, I do shield it. I think in my head now, don't know whether I probably would now, because I don't think it would do much, and I know I can get a lot of energy on Hypno and probably save the shield for Toxicroak.
Yeah. Debatable. I think It could have been the right play, could have been the wrong play, all dependent on what they had in the back. I don't think it's too much of a.
And in the back, they've got two things that are quite weak. Hypno shields down. I know Flash Bomb before Azu can fire anything off, so quick switch into Toxie and do that. And I know Toxic Croak's not got the best of matchups against Golbat, but it's not really got anything charge move wise that can hit me. I know Shadow Ball will do a chunk from me, but I don't know how quick it gets there.
Fairly quick.
I actually managed to finish it off with Toxic Croak, which I was quite surprised with that.
Yeah. Well, I think there was no danger there. You still had Hypno with plenty of health, didn't you?
Yeah. And then I think I did what you did. I liked the line, so I think I just put Hypno in the front this time. And Kangaskhan lead again.
Yeah, see them stick to the same lead.
Yeah.
Interesting that they've gone. They went straight Earthquake against Hypno last time. Sometimes they might run Crunch, but the fact that they didn't go for it versus Hypno suggests to me that they've got Power Up Punch.
Yes. Didn't quite. I don't know why I threw there. Weavile, I think, has obviously got a very strong matchup against Hypno, but then I know Azuka will Weavile very nicely.
Yeah.
So not the end of the world there.
Focus
Blast. Which again does a decent chunk to Azu. So the Pokemon that can't do much to Azu have actually done quite a bit to Azu.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at Sneasel actually, and I was looking at it with, getting a purified one with Return to hit Azu for big damage.
Yeah.
But wasn't worth it in the end. It's the nice slow mirror, and you've got play rough, so.
And I've got 2 shields against their no shields, so at this point they're mucking about. I think I finish off with Azu here. But like I say, fantastic. It's like Ultra League at the minute with Cresselia versus Cresselia.
I've not played GBL in about a week. I lost 140 points in a day and dropped from 2,700, and I just can't be asked. Can't be asked to get back up again, so sod it.
Just Kangaskhan in the back, which I believe I let Azu go here and then just come in with Toxic Croak and just counter down.
Yeah.
So that was quite nice. So again, final game. I'm just going straight back in with the same line, but let's throw Toxie as the lead. Let's see if Kangaskhan stays in the lead again, which it does.
Now I think Kangaskhan wins Shields Down against Toxie.
Shields Down it will do. Yeah. But I think while shields are up, I'm quite comfortable in that match. Yeah. You see the Alakazam.
Shadow Ball coming perhaps. Focus Blast, wow. Yeah. Serious spice.
Yeah, at that point, as you can see, as I'm shielding Azu against Alakazam, I'm now worried about something huge that I just don't know Alakazam has in the background. So,
yeah.
But Alakazam's so frail. The bubbles were doing so much damage, and Weavile. So, not much cover. Yeah, not much cover for Azu in this team at all, really.
Yeah, there's not a great deal on that team that takes Azu on, really. There's Golbat, which only really wins in 2s if it's a good one. I think you identified your 3 well there and resisted the urge to mess about with it. Absolutely no reason not to run the 3 that you did. Then, like you say, just switch up the lead just to keep your opponent guessing a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I think I was expecting a few different leads. A lot of things can beat Kangaskhan, but it's a slowish matchup in a lot of them, apart from the Toxic Croak. But that was nice. A nice way to ease in, considering that a lot of my previous battles had been against some top trainers. I think I'd faced a hell of a lot of good people. Just come off the back of losing to you and James into this.
Right, okay.
I think I played you in Huddersfield, and I think I played James in Northwest.
Yeah.
So it was nice to ease into a tournament like that.
Yeah, a less experienced opponent this time. Not so much lucky in round 2. Altered ZK Squiddy, great player, really good player.
You always have some really good battles.
Yeah. Do you want to talk us through?
So Golbat again. So I'd never faced a Golbat in this meta yet to face 2 back-to-back. That paired with Muck, I think is probably could be quite dangerous. So I'm liking Frostlass because it seems to have a lot of neutralist matchups across, so it's a safe-ish lead. And I think Azu again has some quite decent play against most of the team. And I think Skunk Tank has quite a few positive matchups in there as well. So I think it'll obviously chunk down Azu quite well. I have no idea how it does against Golbat. But I assume I can hit it harder than it can hit me.
No mention of Hypno here. Hypno looks really good. I know there's a Lowland Muck there, which is awful if you get it stuck in against. But
I think for me with Hypno, and I think as I said last game, as soon as I see a Pokemon like Muck in there, I'm terrified to bring a Hypno because I just do not want to be trapped in there at all. And I think when I think Azu, for me in this, a lot of people haven't really bought much that covers it very, very well. I think it's got very good neutral matchups against a lot. So I think if I leave Frostlass knowing that I can either leave something with a little bit or come out with some energy, and then with Azu in the back to just deal with whatever in there, as long as I've got a shield versus Muck, for example, if that comes back, I'm quite happy in that. Whereas I'm always slightly nervous bringing a Hypno.
Sure. Well, let's have a look then.
So yeah, this is a nice lead for me. I'm expecting the switch, so the window comes up and I put the window away, but Frostlass comes out, so I'm quite happy to either demolish its health or burn a shield.
Nice, yeah.
And now I know that with a shield advantage, I know I'm going to win this matchup with Skunk Tank.
Yeah. Not tempted to go to Azu there for the harder wall against Frostlass?
I think in my head that lets the crunch go through there, so we're even shields, and I've got a very healthy Skunk Tank. But I think in my head during a battle, I look for the hardest counter rather than in this situation. I've now left myself to a potential Toxic Croak in the back. But I think whilst I'm in there in the zone of the battle, I just think straight hard counter rather than something that's going to wall.
Fair enough. Okay. But it's worked out nicely here because you've now got Toxic Croak. He's now got Toxic Croak left against 2 things that he doesn't really want to be taking on.
Yeah. And it's quite nice to just let Azu absorb that Poison Fang just to bring Frostlass back out. And I know Frostlass can obviously wall Toxic Croak quite well. So I think at this point I was reasonably sure that Frostlass could just finish this game off for me, and if not, a couple of bubbles either way would have done.
Yeah.
Shields down, I'm going to get to an avalanche. And I think this is the first time I sort of recognised that their win play was to farm me down and fire off a sludge bomb on Azu. So I knew to throw the avalanche rather than trying to just powder snow down.
Sure.
So I was quite happy with that one.
Yeah, solid play for sure.
And this time I swapped Skunk for Muck. I'm not entirely sure why in my head why I did that, but again, Muck's quite good to come in and farm something down.
Yeah.
So yeah, get the Azu.
Yeah, tougher lead this time.
Yeah. Now, having been the Azu against the Frostlass a couple of times, I know how much damage Frostlass can do, so I don't mind staying in. And not many people seem to shield, like yourself was discussing last video, like to shield the first Shadow Ball. And I think in my head that sort of puts me a little bit of advantage, because now I know you've got to shield the second one, so I throw an avalanche.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to come out and I get the shield, and because otherwise I'm going to come out with a lot of energy.
Yeah, really nice play there.
So at this point, I'm now happy to go for the switch advantage and throw something, because I've got a very healthy Frostlass who's going to get to a big move.
Yeah.
And now if Mark lets an avalanche through,
it's going to hit it.
Yeah. Which it does. And now at this point, I probably just missed the avalanche, and now I'm thinking that's a loaded muck. And there's a goal bat. So I'm not entirely confident with the goal bat Azu matchup, so now I'm a little bit in my head panicking, and I get the shield, and now I'm a bit panicky because I don't know how well this matchup goes.
Yeah, I think Azu was just too bulky, and the Hydro Pump hits too hard for Golbat to take one.
So at this point I'm getting panicky because he's got many Poison Fangs off. And what do I hit? Oh yeah, play rough.
Right.
And now we're in trouble.
Yeah.
And there's a loaded muck, which I don't believe fired off a single charge move. So now there's a lot of energy in there. And that's sort of where the lag hit in, because that muck was very loaded, and you saw my energy go from not being at a dark pulse to being beyond the dark pulse.
Yeah.
So that's where we did replay this match, because I wasn't too confident that I would have 100% got to the dark pulse. I think there was enough energy in there to...
yeah, I think that's completely fair to replay that one, yeah. I think that's... Yeah.
So now this is where... Oh, go on, you go.
No, go on. That's.
I was going to say rematches for me, and I've done it a couple of times, and I really struggle with rematches because obviously we now know each other's three. I'm now thinking, knows the strategy for me beating the Azu, so now I'm in a bit of a tricky... now my strategy's gone, and my head's now trying to think on the fly what strategy I'm now going to play. Yeah. And I'm now at a sort of a disadvantage in this Azu matchup, because now I'm just throwing straight shadow balls and I'm not able to get the clever bait. And now I go for another shield rather than probably leaving Azu.
Yeah, I don't know. You still got a fair amount of health, and you've got an extra powder snow in there. I think you're in a similar position here.
Similar position, yeah.
Like marginal differences. And of course, you didn't get to the next avalanche in the first game either, so you're in exactly the same. The choice to switch is different, but I think it's a good choice because you're stopping the muck from gaining a load of energy. Although you do get battered with the sludge wave. So.
Yeah. So now I know that the Hydro Pump's the way to go.
Yeah, and it's huge.
Huge
that you got that off. Oh.
And it does a lovely amount of damage.
Yeah.
And now, I've got a muck who can...
Yeah, really well played there. Did well to keep your head. It's never easy to play a replay, like you say. And it so often it can go to the more experienced player just by virtue of them being more experienced. But you've done well.
So now I'm in a tricky situation because I know I'm within a sludge wave, and I pull off one of the best sack swaps I've ever done in my...
Yeah, very nice, just to make sure of it, and then sludge wave. Beautiful, really well played.
And then there was no thirdness. He called it there.
Fair enough. Fantastically played. I think you're quite right to replay it in that scenario. I think in those instances where it's really close, it's the thing to do. I mean, if I'm in my 10x, I'll always try and push back a little bit. But there's occasions like that where it's, certainly when it's not on your 10x, it's just best to keep the tournament going, isn't it? And
oh yeah, 100%.
keep going. But yeah, very different in my 10x's. And in my 10x, there was this month actually my round 6 and 7 opponents both were going to dispute a decider, and we had quite long conversations about it, and I sort of managed to put them off. And looking back, I think they both probably wouldn't have been disputed, but better to try and talk it out first, isn't it, than hold the whole tournament up with sending video footage. So yeah, I think you and Squiddy did the right thing there for sure.
Yeah.
Round 3, Venus Dice. Now this is a name I recognise. I think Venus Dice beat me in the Flintshire Cup last month, and I think lost to Lapras, beat Venus Dice in the final, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
So good player. Try to talk about the team.
So I'm instantly not enjoying the sight of Wiggly.
Sure. Yeah, no steel type and no poison that isn't dark. Yeah.
Yeah, and not too fussed about Munchlax. Obviously, having done my research on Lickitung, I sort of know how well Munchlax can do. Bronzong sort of brings a different threat to it, 'cause I think that's more of a sort of team that's likely to bring a Bronzong to pair up with the Wiggly.
Yeah.
Again, I'm still quite happy to bring Azu because very neutral matchups across the board. Not really got anything that beats it hard, so I'm quite happy to bring that. I'm liking the Frostlass lead, so I believe I go into that first game expecting a Wiggly tough. And
Frostlass lead looks really strong here. I mean, you beat Muck in the 2 shield scenarios. You'll absolutely demolish Toxicroak. You'll probably beat Munchlax. Against Bronzong, you can take a shield advantage. You've got the mirror, which is fine, and you'll take shields off Wigglytuff. So yeah, I think Frostlass looks fantastic here. Let's have a look then.
So what I will point out is my Frostlass IVs are dreadful. It's a lucky that I put a second move on for GBL, and I do not have enough candy at the minute to upgrade.
Sure.
So I don't get to a second Avalanche, which has now put me in a horrible situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't enjoying the way this one was going. Happy to shield there because I'd already spent a shield. And at this point, I know I've got to try and build up as much energy as I can on Azu to hit, but they let the Wiggly go, recognising that. And now there's a nice Muck.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
So I do shield, but it's a Dark Pulse. Yeah. So this game's going from bad to worse.
Well, I think that's a good play there because they know that you've got a lot of energy and they know you're not going to want to let that go.
Yeah.
So it's a fairly safe time to bait, even though it's a risky bait. It's a fairly, as far as a safe time to do a risky bait goes, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they beat you to the Avalanche as well.
Yeah.
Tough game.
So I managed to catch the sludge robe on Muck. I was quite proud of myself, and then Muck goes away. I undercharged this because I know I need energy in the back.
Smart.
And Powder Snows didn't do as much as I expected, and I managed to get to a Hydro Pump.
Oh, great play! I thought you were done for that game. I really did.
I was quite proud of myself with that one.
Cracking game, really well played. Yeah, you were up against it right from the very beginning there.
Yeah. So I'm expecting Wiggly to come again. So I bring Skunk in this time and Azu to potentially catch Wiggly in the lead, but I catch a Frostlass, which I'm not too too fussed with.
Yes, it's about as good a matchup as you would have hoped for, really.
Yeah. So I know the way I play the matchups, I try and play it the way I'd play against myself and shield the first one, which then means that the second one they can't really use it as a bait as much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, really smart play. That's something I like doing as well. People tend to, in a situation where people have got to shield one out of two moves, they often shield the second one. So, yeah, really good to recognise that that's something your opponent might do.
So at this point, they've double shielded, I've double shielded, and I know that I can get off at least a big hitter move against what comes in next.
Yeah, managed to overfarm there a little bit as well.
Yeah, didn't want to be hit by anything too bad.
Yeah, and that might have made the difference. The extra bubble you got against Frostlass might have helped you there get to the playoff.
Yeah. Bringing Skunk to farm down.
Nice, yeah.
And there's a muck in the back, and I don't have flamethrower, which I'm on sort of half health. I know Frostlass is going down in one hit. So I try and catch something, but it doesn't work. And now Muck's got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And my skunk tank's very low.
Good effort though, because you sort of recognised your win condition, and you went for it as well. Yeah, so that's you saw your potential way out and you tried to take it. So can't fault that really.
So I take a bit of a risk in this one. Toxie in the back, thinking that he's always bought Muck in the back. So I get the Wiggly lead, which I don't mind with Bazu.
Yeah.
I know I'm either going to take shield or I'm going to take energy into the next. So as they haven't shielded, I'm quite happy to shield and I think I bubble down here.
Yeah, smart. So this is going to want to take a Hydro Pump.
Now, what I didn't do smartly was go for a play rough, because I would have been able to get 2 play roughs off.
Yeah.
And now I've only got one thing that beats Frostlass.
And it's got a lot of energy.
Frostlass has, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was where this game got away from me. As soon as I clicked Hydro Pump and saw that they still had 2 shields and the Frostlass was coming out, of course they were going to shield.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's unlucky. But again, when it's difficult to recognise that at the time, because you see Azu on low health and you think, oh, I'm only going to get one move off, may as well be the Hydro Pump. Tough play to be, tough position to be put in.
Yeah, it's tough when I look back and I think, but yeah, like I said, in the moment, you look in the top right and you're seeing the typings, and brain just didn't click in quick enough to go, and look what was in the back.
Yeah. Oh, so you might have, you'd have got away with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's really unlucky. You made your decision to bring the Toxie for that. I think really unlucky to end up in that situation, and I think to recognise that they've been bringing Muck and using it that way, and make that adjustment. I think that's something that for someone who's only been playing Silph for 2 months, I think that's really impressive. And again, even in the second game, as much as you lost it, you recognised your potential win condition and you went for it. So yeah, I think that and in the first game, again, great sack swap to win the game. I think you played fantastically there. You can count yourself very unlucky to have lost that round.
Yeah, it's always one of those niggling things. I recognise I'm so new to Silph, and I'm not going to jump in and be sweeping or almost sweeping. But when I see those little win conditions, it's one of those things where you can jump into this, and if you can find your win conditions, you recognise them early on, you can go really far.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's move on. Round 4, Aurora Phoenix. I've never played them. I've seen them pop up around the sort of Northwest All Stars and the Yorkshire Belters Discord servers recently. So it'd be interesting to have a look at this. What do you make of their team?
So my plan of Azu being a nice safe-ish pick sort of gets thrown out with Skunk Tank.
Okay.
Although it will still do well, I don't like being in that matchup because of the poison jabs just ebbing away. It doesn't give me enough time to think about what to throw and what to do. Again, I'm quite liking Frostlass in this. I know it can wall Medicham quite well, and it can hit the rest of the team quite hard. And Muck's got decent play with energy against most of it. I'm thinking those are the things that I'm going to probably build my 3 around.
Cool. Well, let's jump into it then. Yeah, even though they've got a Medicham, I keep repeating it this month, but I don't mind Muck against Medicham if I've got a bit of energy on Muck.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Now, I don't mind the mirror at all because my IVs are terrible, so I know I'm going to win CMP. So I'm quite happy to build up to a Shadow and throw an Avalanche.
Nice.
It'd be a bit, and then I know I can just match. I wouldn't not match if they don't, but I know I can. And then as soon as they've got Shadow Ball, I know because CMP, I can just go straight Shadow Balls.
Yeah.
And win that. But they do a nice switch into Azu.
Yeah. Yeah, really good knowledge to recognise that you're going to win CMP there. Yeah, great play.
And now I don't mind staying in this because I've got 2 good Frostlass counters, and I know I can put a lot of pressure on this Azu. But yeah, I do shield because I know I can get to another Shadow Ball, and
oh, that's unlucky.
I don't. Yeah, I tried overfarm.
A little bit greedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to everyone that from time to time.
And yeah, at this point, I don't mind Azu v Azu because they're going to take as long to get the player off as I am, so I can sort of keep track of their energy at the same time as mine.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to build up a little bit of energy and then throw a player off before I know they're going to get to another one.
Oh, undercharged to get an extra bubble.
Yeah.
Oh, top playing here. Really, really impressive.
I've played with Azu so much in GBR, I'm quite comfortable with under and over with Azu. And right. I know Hydro Pump's going to do, like you can see, a big chunk to Skunk. And I know I can come with Muck, farm this down, and just throw straight onto the Frostlass.
Yeah.
And like you said, I know Muck can handle an Avalanche. So I'm quite happy in this match.
Yeah. Yeah, really well played here.
Again,
go for the under, yeah.
Just in case Skunk's got a bit of energy, I know I can
fantastic.
Snell down.
Fantastic play, really, it really is. Yeah, really nicely played.
When I can think about things, I think what to do. But yeah, like if it's Skunk against Azu, I struggle because I know I'm going down so quickly.
Sure.
It becomes a bit of a nightmare for me. No, I don't mind this matchup at all because I know Munchlax can do absolutely nothing to Azu apart from body slam spam.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily mind coming out of this matchup on the losing side.
Oh, you blocked the bulldoze as well, which is nice.
So at this point, I know I'm in quite a nice situation. I'm going to be able to force a shield or maybe 2. I can't remember if I get to yeah, probably being a bit too greedy again there, so I let it go. And now I know I can come with Azu and completely bubble this down.
Yeah, good play there to recognise that the advantage to be had in bubbling down was sort of perhaps outweighed the potential giving up of the shield.
Yeah.
Can you reach another hydro pump?
I'm thinking I can at least. Yeah, I think in my head I thought I knew I had a shield, so I knew I was going to be able to get to at least another.
Yeah.
At least to play rough.
Yeah. I don't.
Going to be able to.
Skunk win the shield down, yeah.
Yeah, because it can tank a avalanche, and crunch can do some big damage to it. As long as there's no energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as there's no energy advantage on the Frostlass side, you can come out of that really well.
Nice.
And I knew I had a little bit of energy on, not energy, a little bit of health on Azu that one bubble probably would have got rid of that.
Yeah, good.
Now
good
I lead Toxie. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. I was just going to say good play to switch instantly into Skuntank to stop the energy build-up. Yeah, go on, sorry.
So I lead Toxie here because I'm expecting Muck again. Sorry, not Muck. Munchlax again.
Yeah.
And the Medicham is there, and I'm not as confident Muck Medicham, and I've got Muck and Skuntank in the back. So I'm now going to try and play out this matchup, but they've got Power Up Punch, so that Medicham is becoming very strong.
Yeah.
Now I don't shield this one, thinking I can get to a Mud Bomb, and they've got back-to-back. So I then think it's probably best to save shields for Muck and Skuntank, but Medicham is now just absolutely destroying me. Yeah.
Let's see the psychic.
And at this point, I think the only way I'm going to do anything in this is probably try and farm, but I could see just how much it was chunking away, so I just sort of had to throw on that little health.
Yeah, Medicham got a bit out of hand there, didn't it?
Yeah. And there's a Skuntank, which I able to get a Sludge Wave off on. But it's a big ask for a Skuntank to take on itself and whatever's in the back.
His shield down as well.
Yeah. And
they've got flamethrower.
Yeah. So, having not thought about Medicham at all, looking at that in the right situation, it can do some damage.
Yeah, sure. Well, good job you won the first two.
Yes. Yeah, it was. Sent me a message afterwards saying, "Oh, should have bought Medicham sooner." Thankfully, didn't.
Aye. Yeah. Well, let's move on to round 5. Savage Boy. Now, Savage Boy is an elite player, and ended up stopping me from sweeping in this tournament as well.
Which I looked at that and didn't feel as bad for losing as I sort of did before.
Yeah, our games were. Well, our first game was really close. He pulled it back after a bad lead. Our second game was really close, and I took that. And then the third game was a bit of a disaster on my part. I decided, well, my whole Muck versus Medicham thing got the better of me, and I decided to time a switch, time switching Muck into the Medicham to take a Psychic on the basis that it might have been Psychic. It was Psychic. However, he had Bronzong in the back, and then I had nothing to beat the Bronzong. So, yeah. So yeah, a bit of self-sabotage, but he played well and didn't make any mistakes, which is what you expect of these elites, who aren't me. Go on, let's what are you thinking?
Exactly the same team as the last one.
Oh right.
Yeah. So exactly the same thoughts as before. I'm now absolutely terrified of Medicham. But I'm thinking, I'm just bringing Frost as a Muck because I think that was what did quite well for me before. Yeah, I led Frost as 2 Mucks
Yeah, well,
for the last time, and I did quite well. So yeah,
let's get stuck straight in then.
so again, I'm just going to play the strategy I do with this, go straight for the Shadowborn and hope they don't shield it, and I'm sort of in control of this matchup.
Yeah,
which
nice.
they don't, so I'm quite happy in this now. Obviously, one of the negatives of having the high IV, the bad IV Frostlass, is that it is a lot more frail than ones that I come up against. So when I sort of hit ones that I come up against, they don't go down as quite as easy as mine. I'm like, this isn't fair. Oh yeah, no way, isn't fair.
Yeah, I've got a really, really nice ranked Frostlass. I think it's like 25, 26 or something like that. So
yeah, that's nice. Yeah, in comes the Munchlax, and I'm able to get off an Avalanche, which is nice, which is how I like the Frostlass as we match up to go. And I've got a Azu to just eat as many body slams as they can throw.
Yeah, again, really, really solid play to recognise that there's, the Azu versus Frostlass match isn't just a horrible lost cause. There's a way out other than switching. Yeah, really, really solid play there. Under farming again, I like it.
It wasn't enough there, but I know I can. As long as I can get the shield from this Frostlass, I know Muck can do it. And then yeah, I managed to get the shield. I know I can eat an Avalanche, and I know I can get to a crunch.
Nice. Yeah, nicely played. I wish my first game against him went that smoothly. Yeah, and again, like we're saying, you're able to turn around a bad lead there. Not necessarily a huge rock paper scissors cup.
Yeah.
So round 2, let's move on.
Just going to run the same team because it worked so well. I didn't see much need to change anything. I get the mirror, which again I'm not too fussed with the tool because
you're winning CMP.
Yeah. So no, as long as I get the shield on the first one, like I said, I know I'm going to be able to get to 2 Shadow Balls quicker than they can. So I'm now quite happy in this. Again, if anyone's watching, only the perks of such a bad IV Frostlass. I think I saw the switch into Munchlax, so I threw the Avalanche just to get it low enough for Azu to come in and have some fun with.
Nice. Yeah, now in a position where your opponent's got a loaded Frostlass in the back.
Yes.
You've got to be careful.
I get a bit too greedy with that, so I let my Azu get a bit too low.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no way you live in a Shadow Ball here. But he goes to Skuntank for the farm. Oh!
And I just missed the Hydro Pump. And if I'd hit the play rough, I think this match would have been a little bit different.
Yeah, it's horrible the amount of times that happens, where you look back on a match and think, if I'd have just got that little chip.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting the flamethrower for the first thing because I hadn't revealed if they had it or not, so I was quite comfortable not shielding that.
Yeah.
I also know there's a very healthy Frostlass in the back with a lot of energy, so I'm...
Yeah, I gotta save that shield for the Frostlass if you've got any chance, but yeah, looks unlikely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just gonna get Powder Snowed down here. Yeah.
And then at this point, I know I've got to acknowledge I've got to get the bait, which I don't. But there was no way I was going to come back from that significant down. But yeah, just getting the player off against the Skunk would have let Muck at least come out of that matchup with a bit more health
Yeah.
If they would have shielded it thinking it was a Hydro, which would have then turned the game into my favour, or at least getting the skunk lower meant that it wouldn't have been able to chip my muck down as harshly.
Yeah. But even at the end there with the Frostlass mirror, you acknowledged that the only way you were going to win that was if they failed a bait with the avalanche, and so you didn't shield.
Yeah.
Again, even though you've lost, you've acknowledged your win condition and you've gone for it, which is still really impressive.
Yeah. So I was, at least with certain matchups, I'm getting quite good at recognising certain things like that. This one, I bring Toxie in the back because he's bought Munchlax and a lot of the games before, and Skuntank. So I'm expecting Munchlax or Skuntank again.
Right. Let's have a look.
And yeah. But Munchlax is in the lead.
Still a solid matchup though.
Yeah, not too bad. I think the problem with me with this matchup, because of how bad the IVs are, the licks are doing a big chunk.
Yeah. Yeah, if it gets a break point, that's bad.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure every Pokemon under the sun with decent IVs does against my Frostlass.
Yeah. Frostlass has got a fairly low amount of HP, certainly compared to Munchlax. The extra 1 damage per lick, which we're assuming it's getting, is going to add up really fast.
So I want to do what they did in the last game and leave Frostlass with a lot of energy, so I switch in Toxie, and then there's the Medicham. And I'm now dramatically worried.
Obviously the power-up punches starting to roll.
Yeah.
I expect them to shield this. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Azu can take on a Medicham, can't it?
Let's see.
Oh, look at that damage.
Defense drop as well. So the counters, yeah.
A shredding, and then here comes another one, and this is, yeah. And then he does a sack into Munchlax, and yeah.
Brilliant. Might even say it's savage.
Yeah, and it's an Azu in the back, so absolutely. So Doxy probably was was sort of sensible, but I did, I think, to put it in the lead, and then I swapped last second.
Never nice.
Yeah, that would have been good. But yeah, disappointing that one from seeing how close I was in the second to winning. Yeah, the third was a whitewash. But
good player though that you're up against.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, unfortunate. So your opponent's team this time in round 6, Choco Platano. Interesting name. Not that matters. Toxicroak, Frostlass, Hypno, Muck, Skuntank, Azu. What are we thinking?
Now, can you see the similarities between that team and my team?
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, complete mirror. So, how do you approach that?
So, my first thoughts are that I don't like coming up against Frostlass, and like I know the Frostlass lead quite well now, so I think first game, yeah, I'm just going to throw Frostlass straight in. I know Azu I've got covers for, but it's still very strong. And Skuntank is one of the things that I'm relatively weak against, so I've thrown that in there as well.
Yeah, solid way of thinking. I think it's always worth trying to, in mirrors, it's as you say, try and figure out what you don't like facing, because they're going to have the same problem. And I think energy leads are absolutely key in mirrors. So if you can try and build a bit of an energy lead somewhere, that's going to be helpful as well. Let's have a look.
So again, I do like the mirror.
So you play it the same way.
Yeah. Which now has just been ruined for the world. So, but there we go.
You've done your weighted one. It's fine.
Yeah, I can mix it up now. People aren't going to know what to expect. And we're now going to see the power of Frostlass. If my notes are correct. Yeah, we're now going to see the power of Frostlass. Because in comes a muck, and I've got a lot of health. And I know I'm going to get to an avalanche before anything, and it's actually a poison jab muck.
That's huge then.
Yeah. Because I know I can now take this muck out, so I'm just going to invest in Frostlass. I know I can build up a little bit more energy because it's a poison jab.
Yep.
I can get even more energy.
Wow. Incredible.
And it's a Hypno in the back.
Incredible.
And Frostlass has basically swept.
That's the shortest game I've ever seen.
Especially in this cup.
Yeah. Wow.
So in the next game I mix it up because Frostlass has just done bits in the lead. I'm expecting something to take it on. And I catch a terrible lead. So I'm switched out into Skunk, knowing that poison jab I'm quite happy with.
Yeah, you can at least chip it, even if you don't win this, you can at least chip it down to the point where it's perhaps farmable by Frostlass.
Now, two slightly weird things in my favour. They didn't throw the acid spray at this point, don't know if they have it, and then switching a Azu into a Skunk.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of energy to now double sludge it. I'm going to shield to win back switch.
Yeah, smart. Yeah, keep your Azu away from the poison jab muck.
Yeah. I know I'm going to be able to get to something big against the poison jab muck that's just come back in, so I can get to a sludge bomb. We're now shields down, but that muck has a lot of energy. So I bring my Azu in to eat that energy up.
Yeah, because he's only really going to go for acid spray or dart pulse, so the energy is going to be fairly ineffective.
Which is why I was quite surprised the acid spray didn't get thrown against Skunk Tank to make their switching match a little bit easier if you were going to throw something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now I'm able to win this, and we've got a Frostlass mirror in the back, and I've got a shield, so...
Nice, comfortable. Yeah, again, did really well to recognise that your win con was winning back switch advantage. Yeah, really good play. Fantastic play.
This is a really nice way to finish it off, considering if I'd lost this, it would have gone from a 4-2 to a 3-3, which I'm more than happy with a 4-2 in these tournaments with such big players in. But 3-3, I think, would have played on my mind a bit more, the games that I had lost that I shouldn't have.
Yeah, especially considering how well you played in those games.
So now I'm not as fussed about this lead because it's a poison jab. I know I'm going to get to the avalanches quicker and my health isn't going to be chipped down as much.
Yeah, so you win this one pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I'm still going to shield because if it's a dart pulse, I'm ruined.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
Called it quite well.
Yeah, that would have been a massively risky bait to go for on their part. And it wouldn't even have been that beneficial because even if you'd shielded the acid spray, the poison jab still aren't doing much damage to you. So
yeah, see a double dart pulse from them. I now know I can farm a wee bit more energy.
Yeah, nicely done. Similar to the first game, although they don't let you run through them this time because they've got Azu.
But I can still, like you say, do about 40-45%.
Can you reach an avalanche? Yeah.
Just. So finally one of the close ones I actually managed to click on. And now, yeah, that Azu is incredibly low. And I'm happy just to bring in my Azu. And I didn't note down if I bubble this down or not, so this will be interesting.
A long way to bubble down.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of energy, so at this point.
Yeah. Perhaps the smart thing is to bubble down until you get a hydro pump, then switch to muck to farm. Because that way then you've got a hydro pump available for the last thing and a sludge wave available for the last thing. But looks like it. I think muck wins this, shields down, unless it's got flamethrower.
Yeah, I think that was my worry.
Yeah, but again,
it does.
Yes.
I know I'm going to get to. I think I'm going to get to another sludge wave before it gets to another flamethrower.
Yeah, you'll certainly get a dark pulse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3-0 to finish it off. Yeah, really nicely played, mate. Really, really impressive play. As I say, going back to round 3, in the loss, I think you were dead unlucky to lose the round 3 in the manner that you did.
Yeah.
And then against Savage Boy as well, recognising your win conditions, even in a situation that was lost. That's all you can do, because players like Savage Boy, they're not likely to make those mistakes. But it's good practice to be in, because some players out there will make those mistakes. And the amount of wins you can pick up just from just doing that, making the little decisions, getting them right and playing it extra safe, they'll add up over time. Yeah, I know you said you were a bit nervous about talking through your games, but I think you played really well. I know,
thank you.
I know certainly when we've played in the past, you've always given me a hard time, and obviously this is the first time I've seen games from your perspective and heard your sort of thought process on it. So it's clear to see it's not a fluke, and that there's plenty of thinking behind it. So that's good to know. Yeah, really, really well done. I think you should count. Again, I know it's tough players, but you should count yourself really unlucky to come out with 4-2 there. I think your wins were fairly clean wins as well. So it's not like you had 2 losses that could have gone either way and 2 wins that could have gone either way. You had 4 clean wins and 2 losses that could have gone. Yeah.
Which is one of the hardest things to take.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but it's it's a good sign. It sort of shows that you're not too far off the guys 6-0 in tournaments, and 6-0 in tournaments is not easy.
Yeah.
There's very few players 6-0 tournaments. Yeah, so yeah, to have come as far as you have in 2 months, I think that's incredible, and it shows. I don't mean this in any sort of disrespectful way, but anyone who wants to get into it with the right help can pick things up fairly quickly, as long as the willing.
100% with the scheme that Northwest All Stars do. It's just learning the little things that change has taught me is things you just don't really think about. Certainly win conditions, recognising during a game was very tough for me to pick up, because like I said, when I'm being chunked away by something, I've got to make a split decision. It can be a struggle, but yeah. Being calm and recognising that these matches don't go as quick as you think in your head. Certainly watching them back is definitely number one to do. Just watch your games back and realise that this match that's losing, you've still got a good 30 to 40 seconds in most, not a hypnotoxic, but you've still got a lot of time to think, what can they have in the back? What can I do to bring this back around?
I think that's where there's a big change from GBL. In GBL, you can think what might be having the back based on how they've played, but it's much harder to do. In this, when you know that they've only got 4 or 5 other options. And as you say, there's time to think about it. Like we watch these games back at 1.5 times speed as well, and there's still times where it feels fairly slow. Certainly in things like the Zoom World mirrors, and like last month in particular with Forest Cup, if you were stuck in a Ferrothorn mirror, you could really think about how you were going to play it out. Yeah, as long as you didn't get too stuck in it, and you've got to be alert to your opponent switching the Blaziken in or something like that. But yeah, I think that's good advice. Watch him back and realise that you've got time to think. Yeah. But yeah, well, let's leave it there then, mate. I think some cracking games there, and again, really unlucky to lose in the manner you did, but I'm sure
it's how it goes with PvP, isn't it? I think I'm certainly noticing that certainly in this meta, one mistake can swing a game, and it's hard to take. But yeah, like I said, we've recognised them now, and I know to what to do. Throw the move. Yeah. Don't let opponent farm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and sort of reverse engineering those situations as well. If you know what you don't want to let your opponent do, try and get yourself into that position as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's leave it on that then. Thanks for sharing those games. I thought they were excellent.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on again.
No problem. I'm sure we'll have you back when the new meta's announced. Talking about some new spicy picks.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping I know the next meta a bit better than this one, because I'm sure I'll bring something a bit spicy.
Well, I'm hoping Licky Tongue comes up as an option again, because I'm gutted for you that you didn't end up using it.
Yeah. It'll be best buddy soon, and then I'll probably throw it around a bit for a few final tournaments when the dreaded Beedrill comes out.
Oh, Beedrill will be fine. I'm thinking about doing a video about Beedrill. I think it's dangerous, but I don't think it's going to have a massive impact. But we'll see. Well, yeah, thanks again, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you.